I want to talk about the topic of rape and how people speak about it, publicly. For example, I've noticed every time I bring up the topic of rape, the first thing people say is, shut up. Shut the fuck up. So clearly they either don't give a fuck or they rape someone and they don't want anybody to find out. Or some combination therein. Like I don't see any other way where somebody would reply shut the fuck up to the topic of rape unless they either rape someone or they don't give a fuck. I only see those two options. So 4 of my friends were raped while I was a college student. I spoke about this many times in my videos on YouTube. And I've noticed, rape victims are told either it's your fault. Notice, like, I'm pointing my finger like that. Like, it's your fault. You caused it. You started it. Toughen up. I've noticed that's a personal favorite of many people. Toughen up. Don't complain. You're weak. Things of that nature. And I've noticed the extent to which they demand that someone toughen up, like honestly, that would take anybody with an incredibly strong personality. It would make them reach the point where they would implode. You know what I mean? And so that just doesn't cut it. And another thing I want to mention is, surgeons. There are surgeons that, like, if they're operating on a patient, they leave a towel in their body and then they stitch them up and the patient ends up dead as a result of that idiocy and carelessness and recklessness and just overall incompetence. But I've noticed that, somehow women are just supposed to be perfect. Like, how dare you complain about that? Like, you got raped. Okay, I don't care. That's your problem. Deal with it. Don't talk about it. Don't complain about it. Don't report it. Just shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? And so I've reached the point where if somebody says they don't give a fuck, honestly, I punch them in the face. I do. Yeah, I know. And is that unfair? No. And do I care about the law at that point? No, I don't. Because I've noticed we are conditioned as women to just reach this state of normalcy where you have zero self-respect. If you allow other people to just walk all over you, sit on your head and shit down your back. You know what I mean? So it's about damn time that we turned the tables and said, you know what? Enough is enough. Okay? And if you disrespect me, there will be very serious consequences. All right? And you know what else I want to say? I learned a lot of self-defense when my best friends were raped. And I learned karate. I learned how to shoot out of a gun, a shotgun. When I said a gun, I mean a handgun. Handgun, shotgun, sniper. I learned karate. I learned how to make weapons. I learned how to make ammunition. I read up about, the techniques of the Navy SEALs, SWAT teams. I read up about samurai, Vikings, the Amazons, the Romans, like all the major war groups throughout history. I read a lot and I learned a lot. I know a lot more than the average civilian knows about self-defense. I know how to hold my own. And so I find it fascinating how people just toughen up. Like, shut the fuck up, bitch. No, it doesn't work like that. And every action has a reaction. Does that make sense? Let me repeat that. Every action has a reaction, okay? So if you're telling somebody to shut the fuck up, why don't you shut the fuck up? And you know what else? Since I'm on this topic, I like thinking of social hierarchies, right? And here's my social hierarchy, right? And this is what every human being should do, like especially like women, right? So what you should do, your self-respect is at the top of the hierarchy, okay? And so if somebody tries attacking you and people say, shut up, don't complain about it, you know, it's your fault, blah, 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 whatever, all the shit that comes out of their mouth, that's completely worthless. So your self-respect is number one. It's numero uno, okay? And then there are like 100 trillion empty places. And then comes like the worth of other people, you know, and their opinions. Do you get what I mean? So what that means is their opinions are worth this much. Because if that happened to you, you know what happened to you, you know the facts. And other people, they're worthless. They literally, it doesn't matter. They're like, toughen up, shut the fuck up. How about you shut the fuck up? How about I punch you in the face? How about I call the police on you for telling me to shut the fuck up while I'm speaking about my rape? You get what I mean? Yeah. So I'm not the type to let things slide and let them go. And I do not reside on Easy Street. I am not a resident of Easy Street. Does that make sense? Cool. Okay, great. I'm really glad I made this crystal clear. Great.